What's going on, everyone? Welcome into another guide for Anno 1800. In this one, we are going to take a look at an influence farm that you can do early game at the artisan tier of the game. This is well before, obviously, you get to investors and you start getting influence from them. Influence is one of those kind of limited resources early game. You're only going to get it from your population. As you reach global population milestones, you'll get plus 20. So it's a very limited resource until investors. However, with the Season 4 DLC, Seeds of Change, there is a new way to get lots of influence with almost zero cost to you in terms of production. So let's jump over and let's take a look at it. There is one item you're going to need to make this entire thing work, and that is the Beatific Bishopess. She can be purchased from Eli Bleakworth's harbor. If, for whatever reason, you have Eli Bleakworth disabled in your game and he's not available to trade with, then you doing this is going to rely on you being able to get attractiveness through setting up zoos and museums and things like that. This right here is a lot easier. So you will need a little bit of capital in order to roll for her until you find her. If you need money and you have the Land of Lions DLC, definitely recommend during the Pocket Watch turnaround, which is simply buying pocket watches from Archibald Blake and selling them to Katima at his harbor. You will make a fat profit off of that, and you can do that as soon as you reach Artisans and unlock the region of Mbessa. I know that people keep saying, oh, gramophones are better. Oh, this is better. I understand, but pocket watches are unlocked as soon as you unlock the Land of Lions content at 250 Artisans. So it is available early game instead of the gramophones and stuff, which are available much later in the game. So go ahead and keep trying to find the Beatific Bishopess because she is very important for this. The only other thing you're going to need is a lot of timber and space. All right. Yes, I know space in the New World is a premium and it's hard to find, but trust me, try to find you a nice open space. I've chosen this spot right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to place down a Hacienda somewhere. Doesn't matter where. Just kind of try to get it, in a reasonable spot. Maybe like right here will work. We're going to drag and connect a road up to it. And then from here, what we want to do is start building the Obrero Hacienda quarters. They cost 3 timber each. That's all they cost, is just 3 timber. And you're going to want to start building these within the radius of your Hacienda. Now, as you are building these Haciendas right here, you will see that your population continues to increase. What you're wanting to do is get up to 1,000 population. So you have the 40 tile radius for the Hacienda. So just keep spamming those houses out, keep bringing in timber, and just keep laying them out around it in a tight little radius. Here we are. We're about to expand again. We have 389 population. Getting pretty close to being able to get the rest of them around it. Just got to wait for these last few houses right here to fill up to get 400. Now, of course, this being the New World, I am running out of space. This river right here is causing me a little bit of issue, but it should not be a problem in the long run. So once you are all said and done and you have all 40 tile radius, you should have something that looks similar to this. Although if you got super lucky and you have more room, you may be able to squeeze in even more Obrero houses. How many Obrero houses do I currently have right here? I have 199. I have gotten up to 230 on a slightly better setup and like more space. You can get even more than that. There are a couple of New World islands that you can squeeze in the entire radius around this. So just be aware of that. And while you're building, make sure you have crossroads going back and forth with your roads so everything's connected up nice and neat. And FYI, you're going to need a lot of hospitals. So don't neglect building hospitals on the outskirts of this giant Pokeball right here. All right, so what are we going to do with this? Well, what we want to do is local assemblies. We're going to use the local assemblies policy. For that, we need 1,000 attractiveness. How are we going to get that? Well, we are going to use that Beatific Bishopess that I talked about, and we are going to create this little guy. So don't hate me for this. This is basically what you got to do. Okay. A lot of chapels. Currently 87. That is also, just in case you were wondering, 870 timber, since it does cost 10 timber per chapel. That's with just the Beatific Bishopus. There are a couple of other items you can get if you're curious what those items are. Again, Control-T to look up items, and then type in chapel. Make sure unknown is ticked, and you can see there are actually a few others. The Crimble's Choral Society poster, Boys Choir Flyer, and the Cake Sale Flyer. So those are some other items. The only problems with those is they only come from quests, and I have rarely ever seen them or get them from the Research Institute, or if you take them from Princess Ching or Benta. So a lot harder to get your hands on. This one's a lot easier. So 87 of these puppies gets me to 1005 attractiveness. I did have 300 baseline from Countryside, so I got 296 now. So with that, I can now go over here and we can watch the fun. Okay, I've got 100 extra influence right now. If I come in here, pop this on, now we're up to 1098. A lot more right there. And we also have some riots going on. Lovely, 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 lovely. But yes, this is it. And here's the fun stuff. You don't even have to supply these guys. They don't have to be supplied with anything to get the bonus. They just need Hacienda access. They just need to be within the radius of the Hacienda and get the 1000 attractiveness, and you instantly get +5 influence. That is a ton of influence early game, well before investors. So if you're looking for a fun way to get a ton of influence early on, do check this out with the Seeds of Change DLC. Lots of Hacienda quarters, lots of chapels. Just don't zoom in on this, by the way. I'm not going to, because I don't want to assault your ears. Don't zoom in on that. It's awful. It sounds awful. There's bells, just lots of bells. But it is a very fun way to get a ton of influence early on. If you are not wanting to do the setup with the chapels, check out some of the different cultural sets you can get. Things such as the Taiga Forest to reduce consumptions, or any of them that add attractiveness or happiness to your Obreros. There are lots of different sets out there that you can do for zoos, museums, and botanical gardens to add attractiveness to your island, and also get the benefit of having some bonuses from having the cultural sets. So that's it for me, guys. Hope you enjoyed this little video. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.